Hello. Today, I wanted to talk about something that's been going on within the Path of Titans community for a while. And it's something that I've also been a part of, and something I'd like to address. So, as of recently, it has come to the public attention of the dire situation of harassment within the Path of Titans modding community. And while I will be playing the game today, I want the main focus to be on the subject at hand, so that's why I'm kind of in the middle of the screen right now. And while I'll try to keep this video short, because I really want to get down to the point of the problem, uh, I hope you guys enjoy. I hope you're having a great day, and I hope that this negativity doesn't bring down the rest of your day. So, the Path of Titans modding community. Let's move me aside for a sec. Mods. You know, all these things. Super cool, awesome pieces of content and passion that are made by someone else because they love to do it. Because someone wanted to make them. This acro in particular, fucking awesome. David Rose's Capro and Doc J's Ancient Monsters, fucking awesome. Hipperopterus. I mean, I don't need to call them out one by one. But look at all these things. Look at every single one of these is a fully functioning 3D model with sounds attached to animations, of which there are hundreds of animations, and hours and hours and hours of love put into each and every single one of these creatures. All of them. Even the ones that I personally don't like the Great Typicalus, or let's find another one that I'm not too happy with. I'm not a big fan of the Spear Crest. I'm not a fan of the Deinosuchuses. Well, except the other one. I don't like this one, the KTO Deinosuchus. It's not my favorite. There are other mods, like some mods that I think aren't the best, balancing wise, like Dimetrodon Malari. This thing is a fucking speed demon on crack. And as a Carnotaurus, the Primordial Tyrants one that recently got a TLC, which is awesome, I couldn't do anything with. And you know what? I am fully prepared to say that that is my own skill issue. But there are tons and tons of mods that I have not covered or played with. I think I've played with Cetogosaurus before, but there are hours and hours of content available from so many mods that so many people have made and poured their hearts into that are somehow receiving heinous threats against. Uh, for instance, it's not loading. The Ancient Monsters by Doc J. Doc J himself has received actual death threats over people not liking his content within Path of Titans. And I think that's absolutely fucking batshit insane. That is disgusting. How has it come to this? Well, let me talk about what I think might be the reason why people have started doing this. A mod gets put into a server, and then all of a sudden the balancing switches up. Someone may not have the skill level required to run the creature that they like, and they get clowned on by something they don't think is as cool, and then they get mad about it. Like, let's say you're running the acro, and you think the acro is the coolest shit in the world, and then all of a sudden you get punked on by David Rose's Capro. And I can already see the effects of what's happened, but the point being is, the Capro, it killed my awesome, super awesome mega theropod super predator, and then they start to get toxic in the community and start posting negativity and direct attacks against the mod creator like David Rosa, and I think that's just absolutely fucking insane. It's understandable when people get mad, but it's just beyond toxic when you go above and beyond to actually hurt somebody and tear them down because you got dealt a shorthand, which is, and that shorthand was also based off of your own skill level. So, boo-hoo, skill issue. But the point being is, I'm looking at all these mods and I'm seeing people who worked really, really hard. I have in my head hundreds and hundreds of creature ideas that I do not have the funds nor the talent to make reality. And yes, I'm a little jealous that these people get to make such awesome things and I don't. But that's no cause for my jealousy to be toxic towards these people. Let's take Divine Beast Carcharodontosaurus, for example. I have not been the most kind person on this platform. I have had my fair share of opinions thrown about that have been unconstructive. For instance, at the Divine Beast Acrocanthosaurus, not Acrocanthosaurus, fuck me, at the Carcharodontosaurus itself, I have previously, or in the past, stated that it is not my favorite. And it was about the quality of the mod, personally. Ugh. And the sucky part is that I had not provided constructive criticism towards why I don't like it. Let me clarify something before we get into this topic. And that is, it is okay for people to have an opinion. But it's equally important, it is equally important that you are responsible and accountable with your opinion. If you somehow are so neglectful of how other people feel that you are going to make direct attacks towards them for something that they worked hard on to make, that's just insane. Oh my gosh, yeah, it's peak like dead time, which means I can just hop on any old server I want and wait for all these beautiful mods to load in. And so back to the topic. Because I have been a part of that issue and that I have not provided constructive criticism when I have provided criticism for something, and I know that the Divine Beasts mod team have been receiving a lot of hate because, like, actual. This is a quote from like Reddit or a YouTube post. When divine beasts threaten to release a new mod. That's just wild, bro. That's just wild. First of all, you can always choose to play on a different server rather than needing to put up with mods that are not your favorite. But, dude, come on. This behavior that's being accepted as normal to be toxic towards mod creators, people who make stuff for free for you. They made stuff for free. You have. Uh, I'm talking to you as if you're the problem. To the people who are the problem in the audience, how do you go on with this? Like thinking that this is okay. Like let's hop in on something that I haven't in a while, or that I've never played before. Ooh, I like Ant though. But here it is. For my own personal opinion, and why I'm using Carcharodontosaurus as an example, or at least Divine Beast Carcharodontosaurus as an example, is that my personal opinion was that its level of quality was not perfect. It was below average, in my opinion. And that's not exactly fair for me to say. Well, despite the fact that I think that it's true, is that while I do have this opinion, it's also important to mention that this is not the final iteration. This can be reworked. This can be added onto. This can be improved. Or any of the others. Look at Carnotaurus, for example. It's gone through 5 TLCs from Primordial Tyrants. And then we have content like the base game. How base game content received TLCs. Things can get better. And you know what? You may have paid for this, but you didn't pay for this. You didn't even pay for this. You received this for free. And for the people who are actually complaining and sending threats to people, holy shit. How arrogant can a couple people be? Let's get back to the, like, let me dial it back real quick. I don't understand what goes through someone's head when they see something that they don't like and they decide to take all their aggression out on someone who literally made something for the love of the game and something that does not need to be a part of your personal life. You don't need to engage with this. There is official. There are other servers that don't have the mods that you don't like. And me personally, it may just be my internet, but let's go back to the main menu. So many of these servers have a fairly decent connection. Oh my gosh. Really? Is that it? We only have one page? Damn. Anyway. That's... Spider, you scared me. Let me move myself out of the way. You scared me. I didn't know what that was. And you scared the crap out of me. But let's sit down. Sit down. Relax. Shut up, spider. Let's relax. Path of Titans is an amazing platform. I want to address other things that are not dinosaur related, such as the Gigarachne, like fantasy mods, the Dominus, the Draco Viper, the Gigarachne, the K23 mods, the in-dev Kirin. All of these fantasy mods are getting hate as well because of this is a dinosaur game. Okay, I'm not going to use the mocking tone anymore today. Even though I think it's absolutely ridiculous that people are getting this upset. Let's hop into the game. Nice empty server. You know how it is. Carno, because I like Carno. Fantasy mods have been getting hate because it's a dinosaur game. There's no place for fantasy in here. Obviously, Alderon Games thinks otherwise. If this was a game that's strictly for dinosaurs, Alderon Games wouldn't be allowing people to make so many mods. It has already been stated in the past that Alderon Games are already very selective with who becomes a modder because they want people with a decent level of skill to be representing their game and promoting it and showing off what the modding community could really be capable of. But they're not only accepting fantasy mods, they're encouraging it. So just by saying this is a dinosaur game, it has no place for fantasy mods, you're not only just straight up lying, unless you don't know this already, but you're also just being a boohoo crybaby. I understand in a game like this, it's pretty competitive. It's a PvP scene primarily that can get pretty competitive and opinions can be thrown around and people's egos can be stroked and people's egos can be destroyed. And when your perceived vision of success suddenly gets completely shit on by something that you didn't expect, or by something that you think isn't as cool as something else. Oh, little guy's fighting back. I understand when you get mad, or I personally get mad. But guys, it's a game. And it's not even something that is rewarding for your competition other than ego. This toxicity that is surrounding the competitive nature of PvP and people then taking their own frustrations out on the mod creators for people who make something that they don't personally enjoy is completely, utterly, and totally uncalled for. This is not your ego-stroking sandbox. If you get completely dunked on by something, I personally get dunked on by a lot. I get dunked on so often from in PvP because I'm a solo. When and I see people using some certain mod creatures, and my real failure comes out to me getting ganked rather than a creature being responsible for it. I don't blame the mod creator. I may have opinions about levels of quality for mods, and I should be more constructive rather than less constructive. Oh, frick. Holy shit. This little guy, he came out of nowhere and he's completely derailing my subject. Is this a freaking alpha or something? What the heck? Little bro is using up all my stamina. Okay. Get out of here. Silosaurus. Where was I? What was I talking about? I shouldn't have been playing the game while I'm talking about a rather serious subject. Guys, the toxicity within the modding community has got to stop. People are getting chased away. And those people that are getting chased away may be the same people that make something that you fall in love with. I had no expectation from the primordial tyrants to make the Carnotaurus what it is today. Probably one of my favorite playables in the entire game. Back when, and and I'll compare this to back when I was an Argent player and we had Cerulean Island, and I was just trying to grow, and I would get harassed by a Carnotaurus while I'm trying to grow, and he would like just constantly harass me, trying to just get a free kill. Oh my god, what the fuck is that? Anyway, I grew a personal negative stigma against Carno players, but recently, because of the Carno's TLC, I've fallen in love with playing with this thing, and it's awesome. So keep in mind, as members of the community who play free content and enjoy creatures, dinosaurs, fantasy, and alien, there may come a time when something that you previously didn't like gets completely reworked, or a dev makes something completely new, and it's amazing, and you fall in love with it. That future could be any time from here or into next year or the year after that. But that time might not come if you chase the modders away from doing what they love. Which is a very sad state of affairs. And it's not fair to the rest of us, to yourselves, to the modders who love to do what they do and getting hate for it. So, I guess without making this video too incredibly long. Oh, well, actually, I do want to point out one thing that I really, really like. I've never been like a super fan of Divine Beasts, but as soon as I saw them making the their Facilosuchus and like seeing their Facilosuchus in development and like seeing what it really looks like, I got so excited. I used to be a big Facilosuchus hater because I played Ark with mods and there was additional creatures. They had a Facilosuchus that was incredibly overpowered, as most things in Ark are. And no hate towards Shadlos at all, but your Facilosuchus pissed me off so much. But it's because of that that I ended up developing a negative stigma against Facilosuchus until very recently when I started learning about Rausukians and Pseudotsukians a little bit more, because I just like doing that. I like going on YouTube and watching people talk about animals. And uh, eventually, Arc Ascended came around, and their pretty amazing thing. Oh my gosh, I need to tell this phone to be quiet because I'm busy talking right now. Oh my god. Okay. This can wait. So, they made their own official Facilosuchus based on the creature vote, and they wanted to add it to Scorched Earth, and it was freaking awesome. It was completely new and something that I have never seen before. And it completely changed my own perspective on the creature. And now that we're seeing something similar pop up into Path of Titans, I'm super excited to give it a try, no matter who it's made by. And I hope that that's how more people get to feel about the modding community for Path of Titans. So, to close this video out, I have not made the most constructive criticism in the entire world, and I hope that this makes up for some of that. And I hope that the rest of you can find it in yourselves to be more constructive and supportive to the people who have a passion for creation. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing day, and I will go address some things that I need to take care of as well. Thank you guys, and have a great, wonderful day.